This is NoveThis with the Great Basin Smelt Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. Looking at the percentage of normal for precipitation over the past 1 and 2 weeks, you can see that much of the Great Basin has been drier than normal. The exception to this would be portions of central and southern Utah, where you can see the areas with the blue and purple colors are areas that are near to above normal over the past 7 and 14 days. But really, with the exception of those portions of Utah, pretty much the entire Great Basin has been below normal for the past 7 days and certainly the past 14 days. So it has been drier than normal over this time period. The satellite shows northwesterly flow across the Great Basin, and with a disturbance moving through the northern part of the Great Basin this afternoon, we will see some rain and snow showers across the northern parts of the area this afternoon into this evening. As far as the ventilation index for this afternoon, the mixing will be best across portions of southern Idaho and southeastern Utah. And looking at that in a little more detail, you can see that the transport winds, which are depicted on the left in the screen, are the highest across these areas, as well as the mixing heights. You can see these mixing heights on the right. The mixing heights are definitely best across portions of southern Idaho and eastern Utah. So those are the areas where we will see the best mixing this afternoon. As we move into Thursday, that disturbance continues to drop down into the Great Basin, and you can see that the ventilation index will decrease into Thursday. You can see how the mixing trends downwards. And if we look at that in a little more detail, you can see there are some decent transport winds across portions of northern Utah and Nevada and southern Idaho. However, those mixing heights are really low, so on Thursday it'll be the mixing heights that keep our ventilation index low. Then on Friday, we'll see a bit of improvement, mainly across Utah and portions of southern Nevada. The moisture associated with that disturbance on Thursday will make its way out of the area on Friday, but with northwesterly flow, temperatures will be slow to warm. And looking at the ventilation in a little more detail, breaking it down into the transport winds and mixing heights, you can see mixing heights will be the highest across eastern Utah on Friday. And we will see some decent transport winds across portions of Nevada and the rest of Utah. However, with mixing heights low there, the ventilation index won't be quite as high. And if we look at Utah specifically, you can see this trend reflected in the clearing index. There are some areas of good to excellent clearing indices this afternoon that will trend downward Thursday, and then there'll be a bit of recovery moving into Friday. The WPC 3-day precipitation amount forecast highlights how the northern part of the Great Basin will see precipitation over the next few days. That's with that disturbance moving through the Great Basin this afternoon and then another tomorrow. We will see some precipitation, mainly across Idaho, but portions of northern Utah and northern Nevada. Moving into Saturday, that northwesterly flow remains in place. We will see some improvement in the ventilation index across portions of western Nevada and southern Utah. And then moving into Sunday, we could see some heights building, which brings us lower ventilation index values. And then on Monday, there are some hints of a system developing to our west, which could impact us early to the middle of next week, although confidence is low at this time. You can see in the 4 to 5 day period, the WPC precipitation forecast is calling for no precipitation across the Great Basin. Finally, looking at the 8 to 14 day period, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for below normal temperatures and above normal precipitation across the southeastern part of the area and below normal precipitation across the northwestern part of the area. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.